Bitcoin ETF rumor sent the markets crashing and then pumping, and then no one knew what was happening. I'll tell you, someone knew. Was it Cointelegraph? This is Around the Blockchain. Thank you for joining, everybody. Go ahead and hit that like button. We got 3 phenomenal guests, and one of them's got a very clean haircut. Talking about Piano, Matty B. Piano, you're looking fresh to death. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you. Every 6 months I like to shave, get a little bit of a haircut, spice it up a little. Our YouTube. How are you doing?
All right. Yeah, you got that, was it Hurricane Katrina Anderson Cooper? I'm liking it. Back when he was
it is the
kind of
Anderson.
cool.
That's what I asked for. Can I get the Anderson Cooper, please?
Hold on. All right, and he's going to take a commanding lead with 3 points off that joke. Also up today, we have Moonin Papa. Moonin Papa, you're waking up at the crack of dawn for us down in the rising sun. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know what? We're going to give you a point just for the dedication there. Always a great time. And then also on, we have Atareh. And you know what? He's going to feel left out and he doesn't get a point as well. I said he looks like Joe Manganiello. So let me know what you think about that. Atareh, how are you doing today? Am I saying your name correctly? I think I asked before.
You're doing absolutely fine. I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day. It's getting a little chilly up north, but we're hanging on.
It's a beautiful day for chat to hit the like button. All right, let's get right into the fake news. Talking about this Cointelegraph tweet, everybody. The tweet has been deleted, but we do have the tweet talking about the tweet. This is from Cointelegraph. We apologize for a tweet that led to the dissemination of inaccurate information regarding the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. An internal investigation, they just wanted to throw in as many Asian words as they could, is currently underway. We are committed to transparency and will share the findings of the investigation with the public once it is concluded within 3 hours. This is just, happens to be my algorithm. The top comment, shame on you, clowns. I thought that was good. Well, it pumped to nearly 30K. Cointelegraph right around, I would say 11 a.m. or so Eastern Standard Time, point out that Bitcoin ETF was approved, specifically the BlackRock ETF. The markets immediately started soaring. I might as well pull up the CoinGecko. Well, you know what? Piano Matty B, I have you here. You do a little TA. Were you trading? Were you looking at the markets? Were you looking at the candles? Can you just explain, if you experienced that live, what was your thought processes at the time?
That was live. I was doing the live stream after the produced video, and I was talking about, I'll just switch to the charts here if I can do that.
Woo.
I was talking about, where's the 4-hour chart? Where is it? So before the pump, I'll use DZ.
I'm being distracted for some reason here.
We are right down here, right? Oh no, we are here. Right now, I said, heartbreakingly optimistic would be to hit 29.2. And then as I was spouting on about who cares and who knows why, all of a sudden, boom, we just exploded all the way up to, I think that's 29.9. We almost hit 30K. So it was live. It was one of the craziest live streams I think I've ever done. It was super fun, though. I felt like I was that double rainbow guy. Oh, my God, we're still pumping. I can't believe it. It was good times, though.
So you're confirming you were in tears. It was such a good stream.
I was. I couldn't believe the pump. Yes.
All right. And one extra point for the feline in the background. Guys, the stacked for Matty today. So the competition is going to be fierce. Well, Moonin Papa, we're looking at is about $100 million in liquidations, by the way. Well, Cointelegraph tweeted out, some are saying, well, clearly he had a long roll bit, even did a tweet saying someone with a Cointelegraph name opened a long right before the tweet, closed it hugely in profit. What is your theory on what the heck happened?
I think what we saw was buy the rumor, sell the news. But there's something that I call predictive wicks. This is not a real thing. You can't go onto Investopedia and look it up. But essentially in crypto land, because it's so volatile and the order books are so thin compared to TradFi, when we see a really big fat wick up and it comes back down, as long as it's reasonable, like within 10 to 15%, I call those predictive wicks as long as the price can reach the top of that wick within like 2 days or so. I see this all the time in low cap, mid cap. So even though it was fake news, the price actually hasn't fully retraced back down to like 26.6 or so. So it's actually still kind of gently heading up. And I think what it's done is it's woken up a lot of people to say, boom, this is what could happen once the ETF is announced. Now, I also fully believe that once the ETF is announced and it's even launched, the price is going to shoot up until that point. And I do think it's going to crash. I know people aren't going to like me for that, but that's kind of the pattern for everything. So I'm not really looking at this like as the savior of Bitcoin's price action. We're all the saviors because you need to be the one buying and holding Bitcoin. Don't let the institutions take it away from you. But this is a great example of predictive price wicks and also what could happen, or actually what will happen when BlackRock gets their way in this new Bitcoin ETF.
Collectively, we are the savior for Bitcoin, but some would say collectively, we're the savior for fiat. We're the savior of money, and we're the savior for not melting away all your wealth here. All right, well, Rollbit did have to, well, it was on the deleted tweet where they said, this is you, but Rollbit came and fired another shot. Let's just show it off here. Cointelegraph they tweeted out later, they posted later, just some random Bitcoin. Rollbit then shared the screenshot again. This you, here you can see the entry price at 27,700, the exit price right at 30,200. Wow. ROI 4,400%. It was a 50x leverage long there. Profit and loss $2.2 million. So a lot of this off the Cointelegraph tweet, Atareh. Let's just say you are now head of the DOJ. Move over, Garland. It's Atareh. Should Cointelegraph face any kind of legal repercussions for this tweet?
I think that there's going to be a lot of pissed off people that were liquidated. And I think that anytime you have a mass of people that get liquidated, especially with fake news from somebody that's supposed to be trusted, expect some sort of recourse. I don't know if, the department DOJ is going to get involved specifically. If I was the DOJ, what would I do? It's a good question. I would be like, crypto is a scam. I don't believe that, but no. Give me the point back. I'm speaking from the perspective of DOJ. It's a really easy thing to say, and I don't think it's true, but that's what the perspective might be. And then they would move on. They would let that be the example. I do want to question Rollbit, the veracity of that, because I thought that was real. I heard some people tell me, no, that was fake. If it's real, big cash out, look into that. If it's fake, great marketing, brilliant. Like just absolutely genius stuff right there. I'm taking notes if that was pure marketing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to necessarily get involved because there's a lot of this activity. What I would do as a DOJ is I would try to get a bunch of different cases together and kind of do it all at once. So if I see like Cointelegraph doing this and then they've profited off of that and liquidated a bunch of people, and then I see another crypto organization doing something similar, then it makes it much more palpable to say, let's use our efforts and go after all of these people to make an example. I don't know if this one tweet is necessarily going to get like the apex predator, the DOJ, to come in and start taking action.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing. I wouldn't say, hey, I don't really see any criminal issues, but if you want to try your hand in the civil case, go ahead. Hey, he wrecked my short. But good luck. I don't really see that going too far. I saw a tweet earlier. They said they fired somebody. It looks like it has since been deleted. So we'll see what's going on, and who knows.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just thought that original tweet was just so funny that they said, and we're going to let you know the investigation within 3 hours. I'm like, there's no like benefit to you tweeting that whatsoever. Okay. Even if it takes you 10 minutes or it takes you like 4 days, just why say within 3 hours we're going to get back to you? Because then you're just like, yeah, what if it takes 6 days? Right?
Yeah.
You're going to say, sorry, we're still investigating. Just who thought of that tweet? It did not
make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's like a Sherlock Holmes episode. Like, oh yeah, the clock strikes midnight. The thing's going to happen. And Moriarty's going to get away with it. Like, oh, we got 3 hours. We're going to crack it. Don't you worry. All right. Well, let's talk about Uniswap here. Shout out to Benedict Cumberbatch. And what is your favorite alt spelling of his name? All right. Well, let's talk about Uniswap. It was a proposed Uniswap upgrade. It's got people livid. These upgrades are also sometimes called hooks, not like for phishing. This is just a different way of a hook allows the developer to customize a code without altering the program's underlying backbone. So you can kind of make subtle tweaks. It's just a fun way of saying so they push some code. All right. Well, they push some code, and one of the code, this is just being proposed. This isn't, by any definition going to be guaranteed. Just someone's proposing this change. The proposed change, KYC for Uniswap. That's right, Uniswap with know your customer requirements here. Critics argue, well, if they did have KYC checks, it would ruin the permissionless structure in this permission system and also would allow regulators to blacklist wallets just a lot more easily. Like, oh, yeah, this ETH USDC trading pair, just go ahead and eliminate all those. Well, proponents are saying, hey, no, this is the inevitable future. So we might as well just start planning now, folks. Look, you think it's not going to happen? It's going to happen. Let's just get ahead of the conversation here. Well, in a related note, ThorSwap, they took its front end into maintenance mode to appease regulators, who also was raising issues about criminal activity on the platform there. Well, let me see. Moonin Papa, I want to ask you this one here. Let me just ask you, what do you think? And if so, what's the timeline? Is KYC inevitable?
I think that's BS, to be honest. Crypto's supposed to be decentralized and permissionless. So especially if it's DeFi, decentralized finance. Last time I checked, that's what it meant. So is it inevitable? I think it's inevitable for businesses that want to have exposure to the United States. I think that having exchanges come under attack by the SEC is going to, and losing, unfortunately, or whatever the battle is going to be, but seeing how much time, effort, and energy has gone through this legal process, the battles, I think a lot of smaller businesses and decentralized exchanges are going to see that and go, yeah, I don't want to do that. I think we'll just say, oh, we have to do KYC now. So, oh, sorry, guys, this is just the way of the future. If we want crypto to be accepted, we have to do KYC because, our hands are tied, guys, except nothing's really around us. It's just on the, it's on the blockchain. My hands are tied. So no, I don't buy it. I think that it's a move to make some more money on trading fees and to open up their market back up to the US. And yeah, it's too bad.
Right. Too bad. All right. Well, Piano Matty B, I want to ask you this one because look, you got the golden sound. You've been around. And you can tell me maple syrup's brown. So I want to ask you about the long run here. In the long run, what direction do you think Uniswap is going to head towards? Are they going to gravitate towards a always permissionless? Look, we are, this is the Wild West, or will they gravitate towards permission systems and working closely with regulators?
Well, geez, I don't like what I'm about to say, but I don't think they have enough money to stand up to the big boogeyman, right? So I think
good theory.
If you have enough money, you can wait them out and you can put up a big stink. It's like all the wealthy people that don't ever get charged with tax evasion because the net loss on the court case dragged out for 4 or 5 years is like, well, what's the point? Let's just hammer on these small little families and we'll take their house away and they'll pay their small little stipend in income tax instead of this massive fight. So do they have enough money to withstand the mighty end of the law? I don't think so. And listen, it's always strange to me, like the people that describe it. Isn't Bitcoin the most decentralized asset out there anyway? I feel like we kind of get into the weeds with what's decentralized, and then inevitably the rug gets pulled, so to speak, and you kind of come back. I find in my experience, anytime I get off the decentralized plantation, so to speak, I start experimenting, I end up coming back because it's like, well, this isn't as decentralized as I was sold. It's slowly turning into something I don't know what it is anymore. So I'm going to go back to where it is decentralized, and it's Bitcoin.
Yeah, you come back, the grass is always greener or oranger in this case, or more orange. Oranger, that's not a word, right? Come on. Owen, you're in college still. Oranger, definitely not a word, right? He's shaking his head. He's actually shaking his head in disgust. All right, Atareh, you're going to get 1 point here. +1 Atareh for that calming paint color. I looked at it and I said, damn, that's pretty calming. All right, so Atareh, I want to ask you here, what would you be more comfortable holding your savings in? I'm not talking about a meme coin. I'm not talking about what you got on a MetaMask. Let's maybe fast forward your retirement age. What would you feel more comfortable putting your life savings in? Would it be a protocol with KYC? Or would it be a decentralized protocol without?
It's a good question. I mean, first, what I want to say is that, look, I may or may not have gambled some of my savings already in a coin called Gensler. It's popping, maybe about a month back. And if KYC means Gary Gensler is going to know that I'm gambling on Gensler, then you know what? Scrap the KYC. I don't want it. I'm not a fan. Where would I rather keep my money? Do I want it decentralized or with something with KYC. Quite frankly, let's be honest, FTX had KYC. BlockFi, I believe they had KYC. There's a bunch of KYC, firms that went under, lost people's money. So I don't know if KYC is really the tool here that's going to protect my savings. To be honest, I think with code, something that's decentralized, doesn't have KYC, something like a Thor swap, as long as there's no bug in their code, and they're always shoring that up if there is any exploits, that is going to run how it's supposed to run with people, with getting people involved or not. And so I think I would feel much more comfortable in the Thor swap, and I think that's where the future of finance is headed. I think that with '08, with the crash in the markets, with the big banks, I think we learned that the traditional finance system can't really be trusted, and we need more trustless solutions in the space, which is why crypto is what it is today. It's a trustless way to transact, and I think while there's always going to be exploits, while there's always going to be small things that pop up, over the long enough time horizon, we are learning quite a lot, and people are developing better solutions, better code to prevent things like that. And so personally, I'm going non-KYC because I don't even think KYC protects my investment. Like, let's be honest. Did it protect people in FTX? No. Did it protect people for BlockFi? No.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of Thor swap, also the favorite exchange of Asgard and North Korea. So they have those two things in common. All right. Let's talk about banking versus crypto. And let's just share my screen real quick if we can, Owen. Well, there's some interesting data. All right. We're going to talk about fraud. Well, interesting data out of Ireland. You might recognize it there in the background. Well, it's comparing crypto fraud to basically traditional banking fraud. At the peak, scams involving crypto made 95% of fraud claims. Well, now scammers are now preferring fake bank websites. I don't know if AI is maybe making this a little bit easier, also with voice calls. And several authorities are now reporting crypto scams, now making up less than 40%. So we're seeing a huge shift from scams. 19 out of 20 scams would be crypto. And now, I want to say it's only 8 out of 20. So that's not as bad, right? Well, instead of, plotting, they're mimicking the banking websites, also mailing fake brochures, mailing fake letters to, typically it's the elderly. They end up calling a number, replying, and then next thing you know, they're willingly giving over their information. So we're having scammers get sophisticated, just kind of giving up on crypto here. Well, Piano Matty B, I want to ask you, were you surprised, at least in Ireland, also we had some data out of Australia, is looking pretty similar. This isn't global. Were you surprised that 95% of the scams were involving crypto? That was a lot higher than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was actually surprised, but I think that you just did a bottom indicator by saying there's little scams in the Bitcoin are going on right now. I think that may be the bottom indicator, because I keep on saying that you just check my comments and my on my videos. If you don't see scammers, that means we haven't returned. Retail liquidity hasn't returned. Once the scammers are back, that they're hot on the scent of people to scam, right? I feel bad for those old people. It's nothing new. It's been happening for decades. They're just lonely and gullible, I guess. I don't know. They answer the phone. Like, who has a landline anymore to answer, right?
Not a good look. And you know what, Matty B, I think we need a new trading indicator from you. We need an indicator that measures percentage of live streams that are fake Elon with the QR code. So, once 1 out of 20 lives are Elon, and then from 1 out of 20 to 1 out of 15, oh my God, we're hitting the peak of the bull market.
Michael Saylor, right?
Or
you see all those Michael Saylors, Elon Musk.
Sell your house, sell your Bitcoin, mortgage your house, buy more Bitcoin. You borrow against that Bitcoin, and you keep buying more Bitcoin. All right, Moonin Papa, I feel embarrassed by having the logic fail on the time zone shift. I'm like reeling from it. I suggested that it might have been earlier. It's clearly later. It's just an IQ fail. So Moonin Papa, I apologize. No one even knows what we're talking about here. But let me ask you about AI specifically. Now, Moonin Papa, when I hear that traditional bank scams are becoming more popular, I can't help but think I think there's a good chance they're using AI to make this easier. Is that something you're worried about? Will AI make every grandma and grandpa across the world get scammed here?
I'm going to argue that it's going to make every new entrant to the market get scammed way easier. I'm I don't know about you guys, but I've been in this space for a long time, and having a YouTube channel means having people follow you and stuff like that, and they're like imposter accounts, stuff like that. A guy in my area, a local guy, which is rare because most people here speak Japanese since they live in Japan, but one guy unfortunately was scammed out of a good chunk of money talking to a fake me. When I looked at the messages, it was actually good English. Grammatically, it was good, no spelling mistakes. It wasn't no sir, no like weird double spaces after commas and stuff like that you'd see like a couple years ago. And instantly it was like, that's ChatGPT. Then I started looking at other messages from other people contacting me. I was like, can you show me what they were sending you? And of course, they're now using AI to clean up the grammar so it doesn't sound like they're a non-native English speaker, which is terrifying. Like that is the worst ever. I in Japan, on a separate note, talking about the elderly, when you go to the ATMs, they actually have a number, or rather a big poster from the police office saying, do not talk on the phone when you're at your ATM. Don't talk to people because old people get scammed all the time from a supposed like long lost relative or a nephew or something they just don't know, right? But now with text, how do you actually know? Unless you're smart enough to read the username or you're like, oh, wait, that period shouldn't be there. Or would they really be talking to me right now? I think now we have to bring it up a level. Maybe we need to actually make a ChatGPT plugin that's basically asking, is this a scam? Like, please analyze this text. Would the real person be asking these questions? Would the real person, like, we need people to like put their thinking caps on and be like, wait a second, would Atareh really, would Piano Matty B really be asking me for money to do an investment scheme? Let's use ChatGPT to find out. No, I'll tell you now. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, great point. Yeah. Will the real Moonin Papa please stand up? And you kind of reminded me, Piano Matty B brought it up, during the bull market, you see more of these. During the bull market, you see more and more influencers say, here's my name, parentheses, I will never DM you, in parentheses. Maybe, hey, might be time to start bringing that back there. Let's see. Papa got deep fake there. Candle Daddy with an ad here. I'm going to do an ad read. Everyone, Elon wants to help you out and is sending 1 million Doge to all who send 1 ETH to wallet address. All right. Thank you. 1 million Doge. What's Doge? Around 5 cents. That's 20 per dollar. 1 million divided by 20. $50,000 for, okay. Hey.
Wow.
Hey, 1 ETH equals 50K. All right. Hey, man, that sounds pretty good, man.
Tell me where to send it.
50K.
What's the wallet address?
Whoa. Yeah. It's a DZ.E. No, I'm just joking. Joking. Don't send anything there. You're not getting anything back. All right, Atareh, last question here. I'm a paint a scenario for you. You're live, you just won the episode. Cheers, adulation, the confetti, you're about to sweep up the confetti off your floor. Then all of a sudden you get a text, and the text is from your bank, but it's a number you don't recognize. What should one do?
Wow, great question. I mean, first of all, what is it saying? Is my bank saying you up? I'm not going to respond to that. Is my bank?
My bank. I mean, look, your bank would message you that. All right. I mean, look at you. They're not messaging me that. That was the teller you had cashed a check 2 weeks ago.
Don't sell yourself
Come on now.
Don't sell yourself short. Okay. Look, honestly, anytime a bank, unless I prompt a text from my bank, I don't respond. I ignore like most texts that say, hey, we have this for you. Hey, you have a package. Hey, this, hey, that. Ignore. If it's a green text, it's already not passing the filter. Blue text, I'm like, okay, there's a person behind that. Green text, hit me up on WhatsApp, and you're probably real in that case. And so for the most part, I think I'm ignoring most texts that I don't personally prompt. Also, I think that this is a good time to say, hey, if you don't have two-factor authentication with your phone number, SIM swaps are very easy to do. People will scam or fool your phone provider and take your phone number and then be able to do all sorts of crazy things. And so make sure you have like a YubiKey or a Google Authenticator app or things like that, so that you're not even using like the text two-factor authentication. I think that's going to show up 80 to 90% of people. And look, if you're going to click the link in the text that takes you to a website that asks for your SIN number, then honestly, I don't know what to tell you, because that's kind of like in 1999 when a Nigerian prince would email you saying, hey, I have $2.5 million for you. Just send me this much money, pay this, give me your information. And so, like, at a certain point, some people are just going to get scammed. And, if it's your parents or elderly people in your family, keep them protected, like be available to like pick up a phone call and ask when they ask you, hey, is this real? Say, probably not. Let that one slide. I do that every now and then. And I'm finding I'm doing that a lot more lately. And so maybe Bitcoin is coming back. Maybe the bull market is coming back. More scams means more pumps.
All right. And more AIDZs in your message box there. All right. Well, folks, that is all we have time for. We're going to be on both channels for the next 3 days. And I think we're going straight to Discover Crypto. Do want to give a big shout out to Linqto. It appears they might be opening up the Ripple IPO, a second wave. First wave sold out very quickly. A second one might become. So send them a message. Tell them you want to get into the Ripple IPO. And it looks like Piano Matty B. The haters are going to say it was the cat made the tiebreaker there. But you know what?
The cat.
That's also my fiance's name. So I'm biased. Piano Matty B, feel free. Let's take it away.
Well, listen, if there's one thing that this morning taught us is that this bull run is going to be insanity. So buckle up, buckle in. What you've been waiting for is about to happen. All your patience is about to pay off. That's going to happen times 10 once all the SHIT hits the fan. And that's all I have to say.
Can you give us the note? The second, the rumor was fake. What was the note playing inside your head, Piano? And we'll end with that.
When the what?
When the rumor was no longer
this.
real. Yeah, I got a little chill.
That's exactly what happened in my brain. Wow.
Hey, folks, if that affected you, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps us out. Let's shock the Google algorithm, as I like to say. And Piano Matty B, Moonin Papa, Atareh, they're all putting out fantastic content. You go down below, you'll see links to their content in the description. Highly recommend. In fact, I demand you go check it out. Go watch their last video. Give a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Check out Linqto. And folks, we'll see you tomorrow.